low. So this is nice to see you guys again. I've not posted for a while now because I've been a little bit busy, work has been very difficult. So we're looking into this is a daily. What can we see here now? This is DXY. Got to the downward price doing like all over again. Go to the weekly. So why is this showing? Okay, this should be the right okay, this is the right one. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use TVC. I'll use this one, capital.com. I'll use this instead. So as you can see, price. Hold on, let me see the difference between this and that. Hold on first. Anyways, so this is the weekly charts. The monthly, what I was saying, the monthly, I'm going to see price. If you draw my fib from this high to this low, right, this is equilibrium, so I'll be utilizing this inversion fair value gap and this fair value gap here to want to see price trade into. So this is a fair price for me, so I'll be highlighting this as a fair price for price to get to before we see sales down to the downside. So this like this is the resistance. You don't want to see this high taken at all, so we can see this high to be we can call this a resistance high. I can take it to black. So this is going to be like a resistance high. This fair value gap also you can look into it, but this is fine for now. I'm going to use this one. This is fine for now for me because of this candle here. This is fine for me. I'm trying to study about stories behind candlestick and whatnot. Had a meeting with my team. Yeah, I have a team on Telegram. Include my younger brother and some few friends. So right, this liquidity was taken here, created a fair value gap here, came back down. All of this time we have been in consolidation, and now we can see a little bit of breakout here. So we want to see price buy up into this point and then sells. So ultimately we're saying because of the war, it makes sense now because of Trump and all of his antics, right? We're going to see strength in the dollar. Same with US oil. I need a new one because I'm going to come to EUR USD. So I need a new tab. Oil, US oil. I'll use this. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry. So you can see the US order here. You can see the price here. The price is doing fell down. So we're going to see right under to. You can see this other block here. We're going to see some great movement in price to the upside, right? Yeah. So for the next couple of weeks, it's going to be very tough and interesting market to trade in. So ultimately we're trying to see price over for the next few months, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. We're going to see price basically at the whole of this here, you want to see DXY come up to this point here and then start seeing sells. So I'm bullish on DXY, which makes other pairs bearish, most especially for the forex pairs. Yeah. So okay, we're done with this. Let's go to the weekly. What else can we see here? So the weekly is giving us a very good so what's the story here? I now this is there's a little bit of talks and all in my little group. There's a liquidity that was taken, right? And you can see this. I actually was trying to say this was like a swing high and referencing this low, from this low to this high, not this one, because when this high was taken, you can see price traded back down and gave efficiency respected this OB here. Now I was just trying to create a story for my team, but we're just gonna watch price do his thing, right? Now this is an OB. I'm gonna be using blue lines for like liquidity sweeps, bullish liquidity sweep, and maybe orange line for bearish. So this is OB. This is an OB for me here at this point here. So this is the last account. This is a low. Okay, this is low here. Let's just use, this is another low here, right? So all right, now when price took this high here and this as well, liquidity, it traded back down into this, and this when this happened, traded coming back down, took this low here. It confirmed this to be a range for me, and as you can see, traded down into the other block here, giving good discount. Sorry about the noise. Giving good discount for price, and then price bought back up. Now this is a very good point for me to use. You can see came to this institutional reference point here, OB here. My PDRA, one of my PDRAs is a very good one, and price did what? Traded back up, clear this liquidity as well. So I'm well and good in my understanding to use this as a low to this new high that recently took this particular liquidity. Yeah. So now permit me to draw my fib, to put my fib from this point here to this high. Now the argument, the little problem in my group, right? Because now I'm looking for price to give us good discount, at least to this point. This is a fair value gap. Price can start buying from this point. Why? I was trying to highlight this inversion fair value gap from this point here. Price has been respecting, right? But one can see that it closed above the inversion fair value gap. Now, which means that you don't want to see price go below to break this. Now for price to respect this and start buying up, it means that what? It don't need to break through this low, right? Or come back down to sell. So now the PDRA, the order flow is quite very confusing at this point here, because I have dual buyers in the sense that there's a good confirmation that price can start buying from here, which is fine, which is okay. And for you to buy from here tomorrow to give us this new week, meaning we need to see this high taking, this high is taking, and this as well. Maybe just to this point here, close, but the body of the candle needs to tell a story. In a sense, it needs to close all above this particular. So if this happens here, the new weekly candle needs to take this high, making this what? Another block as well. So this is a good point. Price can still buy from this point. Else, if we see a breakdown and this liquidity here is being taken here, because you can see this is another block. If this liquidity is being taken and you see price, or I will start to see price close, body candle being closed below this low, then we are bearish on price to get to equilibrium or to get discount, and then we'll start buying again. So I was trying to explain this to the group to the group, and yeah, we have the two different idea, because they don't agree that this is a swing high. But why am I attributing and confidently saying this is a swing high? Because you can see this weekly candle, you can see it took this liquidity here, right, and the body of the candle closed below this bullish candle. The body of this bearish candle closed below this, and and you can see last week candle, you can see it failed to take liquidity at either side. So either this continues as a consolidation where this high and this low is being respected, creating a consolidation, or we see a sweep here to confirm sells, or a sweep here to confirm buy. So right now we'll just have to watch price keenly to see what price does. Let me take this out. So on the weekly, that's what it is for me, but on the daily, right, let's leave this low and this high for now. The recent range we're trading into, you can see here is an equilibrium. If you drop from this low to this high, let's see it now, the fib shows it's an equilibrium. Hence my concern about the weekly chart for price to this is from this low to this high. This is a good discount. It's a good fair value for price to buy from, right? Because essentially it's in a fair value gap here, the weekly fair value gap, and it's great because you can see all of this respecting this high, right? So price could continue bullish from this point, up to here, or we wait and see price to sell down to give us discount a little bit, higher low, right, which I'm expecting, higher low, and then higher, because you can't put this as a higher low because this is from here, low, high, low, high, low. So we can draw a trend line from this point here. Like, I don't really do trend line, but from here, so you want to see price at least come to this point here, and then you see buys, right, to give this trend line a very good meaning. So if price start buying from here, then which really does not sit well with me, right, it's somehow very difficult for me to believe that price will start buying from there, right? So but here is price. Now look at price. If it's respecting this OB at this point here, close below the order block, and now I want to see price is all traded efficiently inside this fair value gap here, right? This is like a good market shift, right? Breaking structure occurred here, market shift, took liquidity here as well, and traded back into this fair value gap. So I want to see continuous sales down to this. Maybe I can see an imbalance here, an imbalance occurred here, and I really want to see price trading to this fair value gap here, because this high was taken with this really serious candle here. So hence if I have to have buyers, but which am I leaning into more is the bearish. You can see relative equal lows here, failed to take this high, failed to close inside here to give us good directional buyers, and then for bullishness. But so I'm confident to see price sell. So like 70% bearish and like 30% bullish on price, but I'm very confident that this high is going to be respected. You're going to see price come down here. You can see the first one come, this one as well, this one. Now I want to see price pull down into fair value, and then we see price buys up to the upside. Now this is the daily. This is the low, this is a low. Let's use the black one there. This is a high, right? Now what can we say here? Let's work with this now. if we draw from if we look at this high to this low, right, good point to notice price. You can see price went deep into discount. You can see there's an order block here, right, and also there's a fair value gap here. So price is respecting all of this deep premium to sell. But what happened is that price failed to take this low. It failed to take this low, hence my confusion, a little confusion, but I'll wait for a series of candles to occur. So I'm really rooting for these particular lows to be taken. So this is like my sell side liquidity here. Oops, sorry. Sell side liquidity. I really want to see this happen, for tomorrow, right? So let's go down to 4 hours to see what's original price down here. Now price, you can see a market shift. You can see how market closes. So this is the opening, this is close. So we want to see how price will react to be able to come down to this point. So mind you don't want to see this high taken. If this high is taken, then we are bullish. If this high is taken, then we'll look for, this is a market shift. We'll look for price to continue bullish. If price draws down and fails to take this low and go back up, then it's bullish. We want to see this low taken to confirm bearishness. To me, to confirm bearishness on price. The bearish movement of price, because all of this imbalance here. We want to see good fair value, good fair valuation in a sense from this low to this high. You want to see price come into this fair value gap, OTE, for price to start going back up. Now what can we do? Understand here, there's nothing really much here to see. We'll see this move to the downside, created double low, going back up, traded back down. So we need to understand there's a inversion fair value gap here, but not going to really talk much on that. So just want to go down to lower time frame to understand what price eventually we do. What can we see in price? Now we can see this movement here, right? This is price. We eventually wanted to sell. This is very simple and understandable. Price took this high. This is more like another, but it failed to take this high. But what are we going to see? There's a liquidity here, which is very close. So it's more or less like a double top. So from this low, this liquidity was taken here. So we're going to use this fair value gap here, right? There's a fair value gap here, but I really want to use this one. This inversion fair value gap as well. Let's see. So see price get to this point. So it's fair enough to see price touch the bottom of this fair value gap here. And if you draw your fib from this high to that low here, you see it's great discount, great premium rather, and then we see sells to the downside. Now yeah, I'm eyeballing at that particular point to see price get to and then sell. But if you have to, it's a good point to look at, but let's go down to lower time frame. To 15 minutes is one point I like to use a lot. So you can see the imbalance here, right? The imbalance that occurred here, right? So price didn't trade efficiently. Let's see if price traded efficiently from this high to this low. You can see it as well. So the 50% of this. So I think price will have to drop, which means the 1 hour fair value gap is actually very useful. This fair value gap is very useful because it's where price in the 50% percentile of this particular range from this high to this low is around here. So let's see, because why the price sell from this point, it didn't get up to this point because of what? This inversion fair value gap here. This inversion fair value gap. So price traded into the inversion fair value gap and it's sold down the more. So you can see why price did, and also this fair value gap here too as well, but it didn't trade back up here, which is fine. I have to come back down, but now it's giving price to go up a little bit, fair value gap. So I'm boiling this particular point, so I'm going to take this out. Price efficiently traded this reversal fair value gap, so I'm going to be using this fair value gap here, right? This is a very good point for me to see price buy up into, and then we'll see sells. So let's go back to the 15 minutes time frame. Understandably, you can see, so this, you definitely want to see price get up to this point here, from here up. So let me take this out first. So right, you can see a double bottom here, right? But you can see a series of up candle, right? Now if you want to see a little bit of down, movement, this high wasn't taken, it failed to take this high, so it's fine if price drop down. If you want to see price drop down, you don't want to see this low taken first. But let's see, let's identify this as a high. All right, let's see, at least to this point here, which is fair enough. If the fair value gap is here, this particular fair value gap, so we were looking for price to trade into some point here. Looking for price to trade into some point here, and then see price bullish. So Asian session can do something wonderful for us. Let me take this first. Once this low is taken, yeah, then I want to see price sell from this point to around here, and then we see a bullishness up here, and then we see the movement down to take this liquidity. So the little story I'm building around all of this, it's a 15 minutes time frame. Let's look how it look like in the 1 hour time frame. Fair enough, respecting this other block here, but you can see this particular, this is not really another block, right? I don't know, but let's see what price will do from this point, and then we want to see a little bit of movement down to this point, buy up a little bit, buy up, and then we see sells down to take this liquidity. Daily, basically. So why am I looking for a blue? You can see this candle here, right? The way it's moved, just want to see price take to a little buy up into this point, and then we see sells to the downside. It might not do that, it might just trade up a little bit and then sell, but it would be nice to see something like maybe we can see price push up candle week and then start coming down again by tomorrow. You know, candle week can do all of this. They see the body, depending on where the body opens, you know, candle week price start dropping. So that is my idea on price. So let's look at I think price has opened. So this is sorry guys, so this was what we talked about in market is open now, so we want to see price respect this. This was what I said earlier on. We want to see price respect this, and then see. So if price takes this particular low here, right, this will mean a break in market structure, market shift, and then take this low and then continue sales to the downside, and then later on come to see buys to this point. But from what I understand, I don't want to see price on the daily now. Yeah, so this was how price closed on Friday. You can see it's deep down, which I wanted to see. I don't want to see price take this low. If it takes this low, right, this will indicate a breaking structure and a market shift, and then we want to see this low taken and continue sales. So I want to see price respect this, not take this low at all. So it's actually doing what I've been expecting it to do. So it traded back into either come about that fair value gap. Is it will go down to 15 minutes and inversion fair value gap here, right? This is where I expected price to get to, and then we see a little bit of bias to the upside. So this is very fantastic to watch. So I don't want to see price take this low at all. I want to see price respect this and then buy up. Hold on, let me just take this to the group. I just need to download that. So see price move down to this point, and then we see bullishness. We see that liquidity is here, seated up here, liquidity here as well. In 1 hour, yeah, liquidity and liquidity here. So hopefully if DXY, you can see if DXY is selling, then we can see, we want to see the up movements, right? And then ultimately if DXY start buying, we can start seeing a down movement, somewhat into fair value gap or something. I think this is going to buy much more, and then see, then if DXY starts selling again at this point, then we start seeing bullishness, right? We start seeing bullishness here. So we want to see price not respect this at all to this point. So this is my reference point, this OB here, right? But there's a fair value gap here. You can see there's an inversion fair value gap here. So I'm going to really highlight this inversion fair value gap for price to buy to, and then whatever price does in the future, we could see this to be respected because of this low taking. We could see this to be respected, this fair value gap will be here. We go down to 15 minutes time frame. Let's see something here. Let's see if we can, yeah. So a good way the price could be this point here, or any of these fair value gaps here that might turn into a inversion fair value gap, and then price sells down a little bit, and then we'll see bullishness to the upside. So that is it for me on pairs like this. So this is really nice to watch. You can see, I pray it should take this down. It's good to see up movement to the upside, take this, and yeah. So let's watch and see what price does for, yeah. So I will say for now I'm beginning to understand price movements. Over the weekend I'll be trying to understand a little bit of consolidation, identifying one, and be able to know what a breakout is and all of that whatnot. So thanks very much. Until next time, see you.